Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee will resume hearings into alleged corruption in the South African Police Service following those explosive claims made by KZN top cop Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in July last year. The committee, which adjourned in November, now faces a tight deadline to conclude their work in a matter of weeks. Let's speak about this with ActionSA's Dereleen James. She's a committee member of this parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee. Dereleen, great to have you on the SABC. Thanks very much indeed for making time. The clock is not on our side. There's still so much more to be ventilated, and you had already expressed a few issues of frustration insofar as how this committee has been supported. Have some of those concerns now been addressed as we try to chase this deadline?
No, definitely not. You see, we've now received a long list of submissions made by the public. You know, all of those people, witnesses, still need to come forward. We've always highlighted the fact that we've been operating like a kind of a kangaroo court, where we don't have any appointment of a specific individual, specifically an forensic investigator, to sort of test all the evidence. We see all of these witnesses coming forward. We're not testing all of the evidence. We find that people are saying, you know what, I gave X a bag of money. We've got no one verifying that information. It is up to us as MPs, like I did when we were in Pretoria, you know, to go to the police station and sort of test the evidence that has been given before us. So I think for ActionSA, that has been one of the most frustrating issues, and also capacitating the legal team. You know, we only have X amount of experts sitting there. Why didn't they give us more? We're now at a crunch time. I said yesterday in the meeting, it's final push. And we have all of these witnesses. We have all of these accusations. How are we going to get through to our deadline of the end of February is beyond me.
What does that then suggest about, I suppose, the legitimacy of whatever the committee finds by the end of Feb?
It definitely compromises the authenticity and legitimacy of everything that has been presented to the committee. Like I said, in the absence of someone, of an investigative, a forensic investigator, we cannot prove any of these allegations. There are, however, some, you know, instances where we can see, when I speak to and when I think about depoliticizing SAPS. I mean, that is clear, that is evident. It is evident that there are factions within SAPS. Those are issues that we can address. But when it comes to the actual accusations, I mean, when you've heard from Nhlanhla saying, I gave Bekitsele an amount of money, Bekitsele says, I haven't received any money, sort of, where does the truth lie? Does this mean we have to call? Yesterday, one of the members actually said, you know what, we've got to call him back. Call him back for what? For him to mention and drop another name, and then we sit here for another 12 months without actually reaching any tangible results. I think South Africans are tired of these talk shops. South Africans, where we're at now and the frustrations we see on the ground, they actually want to see a tangible outcome. They want to see people being locked up, people behind bars. We want to do away from with ministers. We've seen and we've heard that there's actually no need for ministers. Ministers has been getting and eating fat salaries without actually having proper job designations, saying that they are waiting for the minister to give them the marching orders. There are clear things that we can act on, but when it comes to the more serious accusations, I'm not sure how we're going to handle that.
You know, as you and I are speaking, there's now breaking news that Ntuli has endorsed another term for Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi as the top cop in KZN, and I suppose there'll be reaction on that front. But the question, of course, becomes, and you've touched on this, Dereleen, whether or not this committee will shift the dial in getting to the root, really, of what we've heard from Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in that July briefing. And the sense I'm getting there is that even you're not really confident, given the lack of support you've received, that you'll be able to do that.
No, definitely not. But I think we have put on record as ActionSA, it's going to depend on the House, the entire Parliament. Once we've made our submissions, it needs to be adopted by Parliament. And, you know, we can only wait until the end of February and then take it from there. For now, we still have very key witnesses that needs to appear before the committee. We have Paul O'Sullivan, we have Brown Mkhwanazi, we have the chief, I think Mkhwanazi from Ekurhuleni, he still needs to appear. I'm I'm of the opinion that, we cannot rush through the last couple of weeks. Already there's been suggestions made that, the ad hoc committee may have to serve and sit on weekends as well. We're prepared to do whatever it takes. But all I'm saying is, at the end of all of this, at the end of all of the hard work, the months, the traveling, all the resources, all the budget, all this money, this is South Africans, this is taxpayers' money. What is the outcome? What are the tangible things that we are actually going to do, implement, and what are South Africans going to see?
Absolutely. I know you're also pressed for time, so let's leave it there for this morning. Appreciate your speaking to us. Dereleen James, ActionSA's Member of Parliament, also part, of course, of this Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee that's probing these claims of capture within the SAPS. Once again, Dereleen, thanks very much indeed.